Hello again everyone and welcome to Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Tonight we're going to be looking at a roll or two of coins from the coin vault. So we're going to have episode 48 of the coin vault has opened. We get a thing set up here. Now I believe most of these coins are circulated and I was kind of torn here. In the future I may flip up these coins just so that I'm not touching them. But there's kind of this debate in myself. Most of these are circulated coins that have had fingers touch them before. I'm going to try to be as delicate as I can. But I don't know, there's just this moral dilemma of, trying to preserve the coins the best that I can. And pretty much we will put some of the coins to the side and we'll zoom in at the end of the show, and for some of them we'll just keep on moving along. But this roll here, it had an E on the top of it. I guess you can't really see it at the moment, but it's just a little tube roll. So I believe that all of these had something in them that I thought was an error. This one has what looks like a clogged B, and I don't know what the best way to do this is. I'm gonna attempt to just have a giant stack here. It's upside down, and I'll just pick up the top. And I'm not sure it is possible that these are all 1957D. We will not know until we get into it. The first coin and the second coin from the top and bottom, because I just tilted it upside down, have been. So it looks like this one has a partially clogged 9. So it's not really an error per se. And I tried to wash my coins. I tried to wash my hands the best that I could here, get off any oil, and tried to make sure they're clean. Once again, we have what looks like a partially clogged V. To me, these are more kind of like later die stages. I'm also curious. I have a paper matting here, which I used. So here I don't know if having it against like kind of printer paper, it's what I use as a backdrop, if that's bad for the coins. Here we have a 55D with a Liberty Air. So it looks like a pretty good one. The eye looks pretty much like, the die chip looks pretty much like an eye there. So pretty cool. And definitely, my guess is we'll probably see another 10 Liberty Airs, just because they were something that were easy to spot. There I go, I dropped one. Here we have a 1955D. To me, this looks like a damaged coin, just right off the bat. You can kind of see where it's been chiseled over. It is interesting though, it kind of looks like a hybrid 5-7 there. But I think you guys can see where it just got pushed over. So I'm not even sure. I feel like I should have known that back 15 years ago. So pretty much these coins, I used to do a lot of coin roll hunting, and so these are kind of like all the coins that I pulled out that I was like, oh, that looks cool. I wonder if it's worth any money. Get my finger in the coin there. I'm trying, guys. So this one's got a very heavily filled 9. So it's more of just like a old die. It's clogged. Like the more they use a die, the more and more they get worn out. And I'm not positive. That's kind of an interesting one. Like I want to say it's a lamination error, but it also looks like a scratched coin. But if it is a lamination error, it's kind of curious because like it kind of zigzags and crosses. It really does kind of look like a lamination error. I don't think I've ever seen one that like looks like two scratches like colliding. So yeah, we'll definitely check that one out up close. So far these look like they're 50s, but all these could be 50s. We could all of a sudden jump into teens. Usually I was going through certain rolls, or going through like 5,000 count bag. So sometimes, like, for these rolls, it'll all be of the same date. It's like a partial liberty. It's like a half, a half a liberty. It's like this one's kind of interesting. It doesn't really look clean, but it has a much lighter appearance than the other coins. Almost looks like it's wanting to like tone, but it's not there yet. I feel like I'm just going to put these off to the side for the most part. Here we have a partially clogged B. And so I just didn't know what the best way to, I have hundreds of these rolls. Like all of them will be different. Some will be better than others. But I didn't know if I should like go and take the time to flip these. Like most of them at the end of the day, they're not going to be worth flipping. But then at the same time, it's like, what is worth flipping? Like, by the time I'm really trying to preserve something, it's something that I'm going to be sending in to get graded. And I try not to damage the coins while they're in my care. Here we have a partially clogged 9. But it's like, these are coins that, were in circulation. They've been touched. This has like environmental damage right there. And so there's kind of this like feeling of like I should just touch them, but I just, I don't want to. These are older coins, not the best of the best dates yet. Who knows what we'll find? I don't think that there's any key dates floating around. But anytime I did find a better date, hello Tyler. Anytime I did find a better date, it did go in one of these rolls or in like a little plastic sleeve or a flip. And it's like the flips pretty much I didn't get until later on, so like everything originally either went in a roll or like a little tiny plastic bag. Like kind of what most people would probably think of as like, I don't know, just a little plastic bag. We'll leave it at that. Here we have kind of what looks like a Liberty, but it's like kind of a diagonal die chip. And mostly uncirculated coin. Definitely still some luster on here. Congratulations! Congratulations, Tyler. Where is Logan? Yeah, I haven't seen Logan today. I don't think he was here yesterday either. Hopefully he is feeling alright. This is probably the nicest condition one. It was funny, when I looked at the edges of the rolls, I didn't see any, bright red showing, so I was like, oh, I can touch these. Here we have a partially filled B. So we've got partially filled Bs, we've got filled Bs, we got all sorts of Bs here. It does seem like most of the coins in this roll, once again, and it might seem like, oh, well, you got a lot of like partially filled Bs, but it's like I went through a lot of rolls, a lot of bags to find all these. But at the same time, it's possible one that doesn't, a coin of the same grade that doesn't have it is considered a better struck coin. So it's kind of fascinating. So what are you doing to celebrate, Tyler? Congratulations again on 600 subscribers. That is pretty awesome. Is your giveaway, is that tomorrow, or is that tonight, or is it Saturday? I've been working pretty much from like sunrise to like midnight, since Monday, just creating links. I got accepted into the eBay Partners program, and so now I can replace all my links with eBay links that instead of just linking to my eBay item, if anybody uses the link to go to eBay for either my coin or goes through my coin and then buys something else, I get a commission on the money. If they buy my coin, I get 0% seller fees or final value fees. And if they buy something else from me, I get a commission off of it. So got another side job, but I have like 3,000 pages. I've updated about 1,400 pages. So I've got about 1,600 more pages to update. So I'm kind of behind in everything. Otherwise, I probably would have flipped these here. But at some point in the future, if you're selling on eBay, Tyler, do look into the eBay partner program because it's pretty awesome. Just doing what you're doing, having a channel, you can not only, like, you can basically go and get links to other people's coins that you want to sell. And if there's a coin that you think that someone would want to buy and you stick it on your channel, like advertise it in your social media, you get paid commissions, and it's like really easy to do. They have the link generator, everything. If you're able to do YouTube here, you could be making some money. I already started to get money off of it. So it was pretty cool. Here's a interesting one. I don't know, like this planchet is like paper thin. However, it does look like, it does look like it has a lot of detail. Like, look how thin this thing is. Here, let's see if we can get another one. Like, that's like a normal one, and it's a little bit smaller than a normal coin. Like, diameter wise, it's just a little bit smaller, and just width of the coin. Like, look at that. It's like a half to a third of a normal penny. And granted, yes, there is some wear on both sides, but it also has some pretty good detail. Like, I don't even know. This was definitely one of those ones that I was like, what is going on with it? It almost doesn't even sound like copper when it drops. Almost reminds me of, like, I don't know if but it definitely looks like copper. But a pretty cool one. Like, that one probably weighs about a third of what it's supposed to. So what is up with this one? This roll said errors on it, so maybe it's a poor man's. Maybe I could see like a shadow of the 5 there. The rim does seem a little interesting, like it kind of like has like a second edge that drops down. I'd say either I thought that there are, you can kind of see a shadow of a 5. I think I was considering it a poor man double die. Obviously not the double die. Here we have a 1952, and I can see the 2 there. I don't know if this would be like struck through grease, or if it's just like a faded, just like an old die that's like really worn out. I think like yesterday or the day before, 2 days ago, I think we had one where like the 4th digit was totally gone. But I don't think that it's been altered. And otherwise it looks like a fairly good strike. Here we have a 52D. I find like the top of the rim kind of interesting, like just, it's got like 2 rims on the top. That's the only thing that I'm seeing going on with it. Suppose we haven't looked at the mint mark, we haven't looked up close. Ooh, this thing has a reeded edge. That reminds me of like a flying eagle scent. That's different. Wow. We can look up close on that. I don't think I've ever seen a penny with I don't even think I remembered ever seeing one like that. But these are all pennies I've gone through here. So I don't know. I mean, it's possible somebody was like cutting it. We'll definitely look at that one closer. That one was definitely interesting. I want to guess that somebody was cutting on it, but it looked like they were doing a pretty good job doing evenly spaced. This die looks pretty worn. I'm guessing that it's just, you know, it's like you can kind of see like the faint 5, but it's like really like nowadays it's like I know that like so many of these kind of like that. There's some pretty decent machine doubling on that 9. There's also a partially filled 9, or maybe that's just a large filled 9 on top of the 9 and it's not even machine doubling. But look at that gunk. Partially filled B. Yummy, that stuff's gonna make my fingers dark real quick. I was like remembering, you know, it's like while I'm wanting to like penny roll hunt, like after like looking through like a few bags, like 5,000 count bags in a day, just like going from morning till night, like how dirty my fingers would be. And then I'd find like a nice gem coin and I'd go to pick it up and like just leave a big fingerprint all over the front and back. Pretty awesome. So what, 54D, what was... Tell me the story, 54D. I mean, it's like, I feel like the rim has like 2 edges on the side, but that doesn't, I don't know if I used to think that was a thing. I just don't know. Here we have another Liberty. And these actually like get like at least a few dollars for. So all these were, I probably have like 500 to 1,000 of them. It was definitely like I would be going through rolls and like a bunch of stuff would be taken out. There's a 56 with just a gigantic B, and the eye on it is kind of interesting. So I'm just kind of stretching these out on the paper here because I figured it would be easier to like pick them all up and put them in the tube at the end. This one's got a lamination error, so it's just like a large kind of like a crack or like just improper metal. A 1957 D with a partially filled B. And I don't consider these errors anymore. These are probably, I don't know, it's interesting. I spent a lot of time collecting them, but I just don't know. It's like I don't think I want to just like put them all back in a bag, but I definitely found them interesting. It's like I feel like when you're new to collecting and you find something that's different than all the other coins, it's, you know, it catches your interest. Um, Maybe the 5 is a little bit clogged on this. Same thing with the clogged lettering. It's more, it's like a worn die. It's like if you, I feel like the best analogy I've heard is like if you bought like a toy, like you bought an action figure and like the arm was just all crumpled up, you wouldn't say cool, you would say this action figure is, you know, disfigured, it wasn't made right, it's defective, I want my money back. And so that's kind of like what I feel like the worn die coins are, but you know, they're meant to be coins, they're not meant to be currency. Or they're meant to be currency, not like, you know, gifts. Or like, you know, something for a hobby that's just secondary. Hey Bigfoot, Silver Hide and Seeker, welcome. I'll pull this one back out. This is, I know it looks totally worn out here, but it's like, check out how thin this is in comparison, like, and it's like not, it's not as wide either. But actually, I don't even know where it is. There's one with like a partially reeded edge here too, which I really should have, I'll find that one, but I don't know if you've ever seen a penny with a partially reeded edge, but we'll definitely look at it up close. We've been getting a bunch of these Liberties here. Did you see the, I'm trying to think, I had a roll of 1964s the other night that had like a couple coins, like one that looked like a DDO and two that looked like a DDR. I just posted it up on eBay. I think it was roll number 000068, 4 zeros and 68. And I'm not sure what's going on with that 7. If it's like a poor man's 1947. It's just like really machine damaged, really. But this whole roll, every coin should have something going on with it. Something that made me say like, hey, this coin's different. But definitely I feel like we've got about 10 of these clogged Bs and a couple clogged dates. So we're definitely, just because something is different doesn't mean that it's special. Some of these clogged ones, you know, by the time it gets clogged, they made so many of the coins. It's ridiculous. How have you been, Bigfoot, Silver Hide and Seeker? Another 1957D. Maybe there's a Liberty in there too. I don't think I've seen one that is both. And then my paper here is getting dirty so fast. So like partially clogged 9. See how my fingers are doing. Not too bad. A little bit of scrape on the bottom. And we have another roll. I did not check to see what the other one is. I think think it says 1963 on it, but I think that's just what was originally in the roll, and I think there is like a K on it that would have signified to keep. But like the K looks like it was like done with like a non-permanent marker or pen, and so it looks like it's just kind of almost gone. Not the kind of long-term storage. It's like you label everything and then you put it away and then you're like, what was this? Whatever I wrote on it to label it has disappeared. So I'm just gonna need to make a roll of clogged bees. We have a better looking 1951 D with a Liberty error. Might be the nicest looking coin that we've looked at, like probably, I don't know, almost looks mint state. It's probably the nicest one we're going to see in here. Looks like a very partial Liberty error. It's like we probably have enough different Liberty errors here to like show the progress of like the die going from like early Liberty to like full Liberty. Kind of cool. Make like a time-lapse video with them all or something. It's not a bad idea. That'd be fun. It'd be a good way to explain kind of like how some of the things happen. But it's also interesting because, you know, you have Liberty errors on, you know, multiple dates. Like I wanted to do a collection and try to like just do a wheat penny, you know, folder with all Liberties. Is that like an extra little piece of metal coming up off the tip? Yep. Looks like a little die chip. Looks like a little feather coming up off the top. It's kind of cool. And 57D, partially filled B. I don't know if there's any RPMs that have like a, you know, you see the 57D and it's like lets you know. Alright, so here's the interesting part. It's like I can zoom in here, but I'm not sure how the lights are going to work, because normally I'm in a flip and I don't want to like be just totally fingering the coins. And I don't want to be blinding you, but at the same time we don't have plastic, or so maybe we can do this. Let's see what happens. It's like, I'm almost wondering if this is like better than zooming all the way in here. I mean, I guess I can't see everything. I don't know, I kind of miss zooming in all the way. Look at that D there. The D just goes on and on and on and on. There's a Liberty here with a clogged B. Yeah, there's definitely massive air pressure change. So there's like a flash grenade just went off. Looks like there is a couple little die chips in the wheat ear. Clogged B. There's that 47 that the 7 looked doubled. I'm guessing that it's just really, really worn. Let's check out the other details. I can look that up later. I mean, it kind of looks like there was another 7 there. It's probably nothing though, right? I'm almost feeling like we could go closer. I don't know, let's find out what happens when we go, if we can go in the next. Gotta be closer. I think the only way I'll be able to do it is if I'm holding it. And that's just gonna, yeah, that's the one nice thing about having the flip, is that like the flip kind of protects it when I hold it like this. Yeah, I think unless there is something that we need to go closer with, I think we're just going to go one loop. It's like, I think at this stage here, if there's something that's like very, very interesting, we'll easily be able to go. Hey Super Silverman, welcome. And so I'll see if I can find, you can see the one, there was one with like a reeded edge. I'm not seeing it. But it definitely would be interesting. So I don't know what causes this, like the line, if it's just machine damage. I always thought it looked interesting when there was 2 lines on the out. How are you doing, Super Silverman? Welcome. Got double silver. We've got Bigfoot Silver Hide and Seeker, and we've got Super Silverman. And even Coin Collecting with Tyler, he's sporting some Frosty Cameo Franklin silver in his logo. Got the silver curve here. This one just, you know, it's got like the F5, the shadow of the 5, just very worn die. It seemed like 1955, like more coins came out looking crazy. I feel like the eye on this got like pushed over. Just not a very happy looking coin. And so clogged B. I don't think they have any value. I don't think people even collect them. Nice. That is a score. I think we are mostly 1957 Ds here, but it did range. I feel like the oldest I saw was a 49D. No, I think we had a 47D. Hey, Ozzy Colin, welcome. But this roll was marked with an E on it, so everything should have had something at the time that I thought was an error. You know, like obviously we're seeing quite a few coins that do not have an error. And I am not seeing what I thought on this one. Clogged B. And I don't know if I mistakenly passed the one with the reverse that had like the wheat ear had like a little feather coming off the top. Here's another one of the ones that looks like it has a dual rim. I don't know if it's just like ever so slightly off center or what causes that. But if anybody has any answers to questions I have that can help me be more informative to people, I'm totally down in learning more. This one has got some smoothness going on. Oh, this is the one that looked like it had a reeded edge. So maybe we'll zoom in closer just to see if like someone was cutting it. But I believe it's on the reverse too. Kind of looks like it changes angles. Maybe it got like stuck in an escalator. But here, if we're gonna, I feel like this is one that like we should like zoom in as close as we can because I feel like it'll help. I don't know. It's like I want to say they're cut. I guess why couldn't someone cut it, right? I feel like it goes from an angle to being more like straight. They look uneven. Yeah, that's what I was feeling like. I felt like the evenness was okay. Where's the coin? What's it doing? Why isn't it focused on this side? It's just interesting like how like all the little stuff that comes out. Maybe they did it and then it got flattened down. I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's anything. It looked more interesting up close. Alright, let's or not up close, when we were looking at it with the whole coin view. Maybe this would have been an interesting one to. So here we've got a 57D with some insane machine damage. Just the date. I know, it's just interesting because like I feel like usually when I see machine damage like that, it would be like the entire coin would kind of be like that. From like even just one focal length back when we were looking at the whole coin, it's like it just looked like the clogged die was just making it look a little bit doubled. It's like, I feel like I need to like study the different books until I know what every single variety looks like, because I just don't. I honestly don't know what every single one looks like. Nice, congrats, Logan. New phone equals a channel. That is very awesome. I look forward to seeing your videos. And welcome. Good to see you tonight. I don't like that my flipped over. I don't like that my fingers not only are touching the coins, but that they're covering up spots. Like it's like I'm trying to see spots. And then they're gonna cause spots probably. But most of these have been circulated and then some, so I really probably shouldn't be worrying too much. Looks like the E is damaged, the B is partially filled. The one with machine damage, Bigfoot Silver Hide and Seeker. Yeah, it's all these ones are probably just gonna go back in the vault until I figure out what I'm doing with everything. And that's like part of what seems silly too, is that I know this one is like so thin. This is probably like half, you know, it's definitely worn, but it's like half the thickness of a normal planchet. And it's like a little bit smaller too. Not much smaller, but like just a little bit smaller. And it almost sounds like a little bit more like silvery, but it doesn't have much weight to it. It's a 55. It's interesting that like there's almost no detail. How often does this happen and then like full date? A knockoff. Here we have a Liberty, like about 2/3. So it's like, it looks like there was about 10 Liberty errors in this roll, which is about what I would expect. I feel like 15 years ago when I was like putting these, you know, going through coins, I was finding like Liberties like in like I'd find maybe like 10 in every bag. And then like it was all of a sudden like sometimes I wouldn't even find one. I was like, gosh, I think people are starting to take these out. So I think this one just got squished over. It's just so interesting how the 5 looks so much like a 7. It's like I thought when we got close up we'd be able to see all like the scratches like and how it got pushed over. But it really doesn't. It like looks like it has a nice surface there, which is interesting to me. And it almost looks like there's a little notch like in between the parts of the 5. But I mean, like, I feel like it's obvious it just got like squished over. It's just interesting that the luster when it got squished over is like so good. And so I feel like the other roll that I have, if we get to it tonight, I just didn't know how long these were. I didn't know what was going to be in here other than it said air. The other one had a K on it, which I'm guessing that either they're like better, I don't know, like It looks like some of them might be kind of like AU-ish or like possibly low grade or problem BU. But I'm guessing that most of them are like kind of better dates. A little bit of a library here. But some of the stuff too that I considered, well, thank you for stopping by, Logan. It's alright. Like, never feel like you gotta watch the whole show. I'm just here for when people want to watch coins and want to hang out. So I wish I was here more often and I could just be here whenever anybody wanted, but I do what I can when I can. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Forget what I was saying though. Oh yeah, the other one has a K. And so like when I was roll hunting, I would, find maybe like one 1952 like P in a bag, or one 1947 P, or one 1954 P. There were definitely dates where even in common circulated grades you just didn't find. And so when I was like going through stuff, if I found something that was like, it's like you would end up with like 100 1957 Ds and 100 1958 Ds, and but then you'd have all these stacks, and then there would just be some that you wouldn't find any. So coins like that, whenever I kind of ran into them later on roll hunting, because I used to build solid date rolls, like ones that I couldn't even build rolls of, they kind of became what was like better known or better dates to me. And so some of the stuff that we find in something that says K, they could be higher grade coins, and they could just be like dates that I almost never saw, like like anything from like 21 to 23 would have been like a better date for me, because like roll hunting, like anything like from 31 to 33 would be like a better date, because I just didn't find them. Like I ended up like usually buying those dates circulated in rolls so that I could sell single coins. Because when I first started selling on eBay, I just sold, a date and a mint. It didn't matter what the grade, just you needed a hole in your penny book. I would find that coin for you and send it to you for $1, and pay postage and eBay fees, and I'd make like 10-15 cents off the transaction. And then I'm there was like times when I was selling like 1,000 coins, like 1,000 like pennies, and making 10 cents, and I was just like, it was a lot of work. I'd spend like an hour or 2 hours on an order. I was like, I gotta start working smarter here. Gotta start working smarter. Do 1 or 2 coins instead of 100 coin order and make more money. Oh no. Which 5? They're all 50s. Here, the delay is gonna kill us. Okay, there's that 5. That 5. Any of those 5s, my friend? Yeah, the delay on here kills me when someone says, go back to the last coin. That one looks smushed, but kind of looks like extra thick. At the same time, like it kind of looks like everything's kind of pushed up towards the edge. It looks like Tyler got to 600 subscribers. I think he's going to have a giveaway this weekend. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, He's been working really, really hard. And looks like Logan is probably going to follow on his path because it seems like they get along really well, and I think Tyler can teach him a lot. I'm looking at this one, I'm like, maybe the 9 looks a tiny bit doubled. The B is partially filled. Who knows, maybe the roll that says K is the 1909. I have a roll in 1909 VDBs in like AUMS condition. Here's the one that looks like it's got like a little die chip, looks like a little feather off the top of the wheat socket. I think that one looks kind of cool. That one definitely is like kind of unique. Kind of has a story. But not a story. I like ones that like kind of air coins that look like they're something. Here's a pretty nice example of a Liberty. It's got a fat eye. It's a fat eye Liberty. Here's the 1952 with pretty much the completely faded 2. It's like the trust is, the T is almost gone on the top of it. Trying to look at the U there. Probably if it's doubled, it is just from like the die going smush smush. But the 2 I think is probably the coolest thing on here, and it's just interesting how the 5 can be struck so well, and then the 2 is just barely there. And I think the reverse had a good strike on it too. Yes, it's all mushy. What's that zigzag? Check that out, see if there's anything else. Definitely have some interesting looking things on some of these coins. Like, is that just a scratch? That like a quarter that just went smush on it? I feel like that's just the edge of something. So I'm wondering if that if there was something on the die when it, because it's on the opposite side of where the 2 is faint. Yeah, it's like a little snake. But it was on the other side of the coin where the 2 was. So I'm wondering if like something was in the die, like maybe something fell in it. Maybe there's like a quarter in there somehow. And then the 2 just didn't strike, or it didn't come off because there was something on the back. A bezel scar, read damage. I just found it fascinating that like it was on the other side where it was all faint. Looks like fit the 5 and the 9 there. A little bit of machine damage. Super clogged B. Oh, these fingers are, or the pennies are like shredding my finger. I was more worried about the pennies. Clogged B. Little tiny pit in the coin. I don't know if that was just there or if I got hit with a nail. It's a pretty clean look though. I think that this one was a clogged B and a partial liberty. And other than that, it's like totally beaten up and corroded. I almost feel like we could just go through the coins at this level, because it's like I'm able to see the whole coin pretty quickly and easily. Normally I like to do it from all the way out so that I can see kind of what the grade of the coin is, but I don't think any of these coins I'm going to be sending in to get graded. It's like double filled B. Yeah, it's ugly parking lot coin. I feel like I keep seeing these little feathers. That one's gone now. I think that's like the 10th feather I've seen. It's not usually what I think of finding in my coins. Yeah, in the future they'll have like a little machine that you can stick your penny in, and it'll tell you a story. It's like some pennies will have lots of stories, and some will just be like, I was in the ground, it was really dark, it was wet, nothing happened. I was in a drawer, it seemed like forever. Then I was in a jar. Very clogged. It's like a little bit of rim damage. It's nice to actually be able to see the rim. Like once I have a coin in the flip, it's like kind of hard to get an angle with the plastic. A lot of coins I would be like, is that a little tiny baby cod? Where's Lincoln? Yeah, I kind of, like the what is it, where's Washington? Or Where's George? If you guys have ever seen that, I'm assuming that's what you're referencing there. But it's like just a little stamp that someone puts on a dollar bill, and it like has like a serial number on it, and then you can go to the website, and like people will like basically write where they got the dollar, and then they'll drop it back into circulation. Here's a Liberty, and then you can kind of like track where the dollar bills kind of go around the country and how long they stay in circulation. kind of interesting, but like I wanted to get like I don't know, maybe I still will, but just like a little tiny stamp, you know, just a little metal thing I can hammer into pennies that like has like Time Traveler's Coin Exchange. Just seems like it would be cool, and then people would be like get a penny and they'd be like, "What the heck is Time Traveler's Coin Exchange?" But I don't know if it would count as like defiling. If I should just get some little stickers and you know stick them onto the penny. I feel like at least that it can just be taken off. And it's like, oh, it's just a sticker. It must have got stuck there by accident. Here, let me clean that off. There, I did my community service. I cleaned up the coin. It's not defaced government property anymore. What was written on his forehead? If there was something written on one back there, I missed it. I don't know, it's like, I guess it's like, I feel like it would be okay to do, like, to just stamp, like, as long as you don't defile it in a way that, like, makes it look like, you know, another coin, or, like, to change the value, or to make it look like some other kind of money. But, but at the same time, I don't, you know, I don't find coins, you know, occasionally you'll find, like, a souvenir kind of coin where, like, something has been stamped into it. Um, but it's just interesting, you don't see them, and so like I feel like the reason you don't see them is because people, if they do it, they get in trouble and it gets taken out of circulation. But maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe it's totally okay to do. I mean, I don't think like the government wants people to do it. But it would be fun to just, I don't know, stamp the coins, make them look different ways. Give Lincoln like a variety of hats or something. Give him a Sherlock Holmes pipe. So I don't think those are scratches. It's just funny. They look like obvious scratches, but then they look like it's kind of like a lamination error or like a lamination peel. I've just never seen a lamination error just kind of zigzag and cross like that before. Why does that look like a little baby D there? Alright, it looks like there's two little pits. So my finger's gonna totally like cover up something that is an error. And we'll never see it. That's a really filled 9. It's like, how much later does like a coin like this, like when do they take the die out of circulation and just be like, this one's done? Looks like you have like a tadpole on there. The die or the mint mark there is kind of smashed diagonally. couple left in this roll. And I'm almost thinking that like we could probably just go through the rolls like this. I'm used to going through ones that are a little bit higher grade and just, you know, wanting to kind of like see what the grade could be at the same time, and also so that I can spot anything, but I feel like I can spot anything on it by the time I'm looking at pretty much all the coin. That one had some funky stuff on it. This one looks like it's got a big crack on it as well. It's right through Lincoln's head. Trying to like gauge the thickness. For some reason, like all the letters look kind of chubby. I don't know if it's just been flattened down. It's like the one definitely has a little bit of doubling. Is that how many they can get out of a die these days? Yeah, like some of these I mean, like I think it's also different because I think that what's going on with the U there? Is there just a scratch inside it? Oh, I didn't even realize I still had the light on. That's fine. I just want to see if there's got to be a scratch in there. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. But it's like with newer coins, like I feel like with the zinc, the coins must be softer, and so it probably doesn't wear them out as fast. I feel like it was just a little bit closer and a little bit clearer before. There we go. I think copper is harder than zinc. I know that when they say when they were doing the 1943s, like stuff just got like sketchy there because like I think they were like running through the dies really fast because the steel was harder. Hold on 1 second. No coffee tonight. I'm gonna sleep tonight. I still have like 1,200 more pages to update with the eBay partner program so that I can like I'm now, whenever anyone clicks on a link, I get paid. So it's pretty cool. Like I either get 0% seller fees if someone buys something through my link, or if they go to someone else and buy something else on eBay, anything on eBay, I get paid a commission on it. So I am having to basically redo all the links on my stuff. The links go to the same place, I just get paid. It's like a way better deal. Oh. Alright, I thought I could be slick there and just like dump it upside down. So not slick. But yeah, the eBay partner program seems pretty awesome. It looks like the first day I made some money, and I had only put up a couple hundred links, and so I'm hoping I have I think I've like updated over half the links now, or just about half, and so I'm hoping that I will start to have some passive income that way, and I can just make links instead of selling coins. I can just make links to other coins that other people are selling. Instead of buying the coins, just show people where the awesome coins are at. Be like, hey, I checked all the internet. These are like the 10 best deals on the internet this morning. If you need any of them, these are what you want. Either that, or I should just like try to sell like stuff on like the eBay cars or eBay motors, because some of the different categories there's like insane commission rates. I'm just like, really? It's like, I want to like someone to buy a gold coin and get like 8% commission in the bullion section. Like, that's awesome. Who knows, maybe I can start doing some awesome giveaways on my channel if the eBay partnership thing keeps going. It's like, I definitely could use free seller fees or final value fees. Like, that definitely, I could offer a lot better prices on my coins. But it's like, when I sell on eBay, if you sell on eBay, like, unless you're doing auctions, like, no one sees anything. You have to promote the item, and then you have to promote it and be like 1% more than anyone else. I think I want to see that one up closer. I'll maybe do a little pile that, like the mint mark on that one just looked kind of, it's probably just damage. And it's like, I used to have a website, so I used to do something kind of similar with eBay, where I'd like run links, but I gave up my website like a long time ago, and so I wasn't even realizing that, like, with the having like social media accounts, like, you know, like YouTube, Facebook, any of these things, like, you can post links, and so that, like, they will count you as like a social media influencer or whatnot. Well, it's definitely like the reason that I want to make, like, you know, like, I could make videos, like morning videos, where like I'm able to scan like everything that's going to be up auction and buy it now for the day. But some days I don't have, you know, like, I usually have less than $100 in my bank account, just because I have a coin addiction, and I will, when I see a deal, I will buy it so that I can flip it so that I can make money. And so it's like, there's sometimes where like I won't be able to buy anything for a day or two, and I'll just see it there and it's killing me. I'm like watching it just sit there. I'm like, I could be making money off that, but, you know, I decided to play proof monopoly and buy up all the proof coins. And I don't know if anybody saw the video that I did before here. Yeah, gold's addictive too. But like this 1939 proof that I got today, it's like totally got like, see, this actually almost, you can almost see the toning under the light. It's got like a pink, like a ring all the way around the edge, and then it's got like this like crazy green, and then the entire center is just like yellow. But it's like super, super pretty. I'm super happy with this one today. Look at the color up at the top. It's a proof 66 too. Proof 66 red. Alright, we'll just like switch from looking at some circulated coins to like something with, like, we're in like a disco here or something. Not that I've ever been in a disco. I've always just been here looking at pennies. Missed out a lot in life. Yeah, gold's addictive, except for like I've never been in a position where I can just like keep buying gold. It's like, I'm like, oh, I want gold, and then I'm like, oh, I spent all my money on gold, and then it's like, you know, gold is nice to own, but it's, I don't know, it's like, I feel like it's harder to flip. You know, you can buy high, or you can buy low and sell high. don't want to go back and look at that proof again. It's like the little die chip on the T. But definitely have like a lot of things in the works coming up, and we'll just have to see how things kind of go. I feel like I'm getting to a point where I have too many projects. I have like too many kind of like side projects on the side projects, and I'm loving them all. Like basically it's like I am up at morning light and I work until like midnight, and I love it. And sometimes I'm tired, but not really. But it's just that, I don't know, I'm never bored. Like I always have something I'm working on, and when I'm not working on something miraculously, all of a sudden I have another project. I'm like, oh, I'll do this. Like I think it's a good thing, except for I feel like I used to be much better at relaxing, and I guess relaxing is like really the beach and the forest for me. It's like I have a hard time, like I guess I like with YouTube, like I feel like I can watch other people's channels, like coin channels and stuff, and it's like I feel like I'm working because I'm learning stuff and I'm also meeting people. So I do enjoy that, but it's like, unless I have company, it's like hard to just like sit down and like watch a show. I used to be able to like do it much better. Used to be able to like, you know, just consume like a normal person, binge watch an entire season of Netflix in a weekend. Not so much these days. It's got to be a really good show. I think there's actually one that I'm looking forward to seeing though. I think there's a new episode of a show, or a new season of a show called Dark on Netflix. And I just got hooked into it a couple of years ago, and I think the new season's coming out. It has to do with time travel. Just one of those shows that kind of makes me think a little bit. I think I want to see this one a little bit closer. I think I remember this one. I feel like the 2 and the 9 and stuff just have a little bit of doubling. It'll just be interesting to see it a little closer. But yeah, here we just like all of a sudden ended up with a 20. I think that's the oldest coin we've seen tonight. It's pretty worn here. It's like the funny thing is, when I was going through these and putting away all these coins, I was like, oh, like, you know, like one of the bags I have, it says like, do not open till 2018, do not open till 2028. And so I'm like, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, I can open up the 2018, but, you know, it's like probably most of the coins in there are like what we're looking at here tonight. And so it's like, but it's like, I feel like I thought like, oh yeah, these wheat pennies are going to be worth like $5 a piece. Like they're going to be worth like $10 a piece. I'm going to retire on these. It's going to be awesome. These pennies are trying to get away from me. But I don't know, like I definitely was I was like, oh yeah, I will hoard these. I will put away 1,000,000 wheat pennies and they'll be worth like $1 a piece, and I'll have like, you know, like a ton of money if I'm still alive. But it's like I feel like I didn't take into consideration just really how many, you know, it's like, because I feel like you look at things and you try to look back in time and it's like, okay, an Indian head cent, they're worth like $1 a piece. And so like, you know, in X amount of time, a wheat penny will become worth money, you know, once that equal amount of time has passed. But when you look at the populations of how many of the coins were made, it's just, they're not, it's comparing apples to oranges. They're just different. I think we'll take a look at that one a little closer on the mint mark. I don't think there's anything there. But yes, like I totally thought like someday I would retire off of my like bulk, you know, all the nicer coins I pulled out of 5,000 count. Here's a Liberty just stuck in here. And so I don't know, I'm kind of glad that I sold off my roll collection and started buying certified coins, because I feel like that I've actually been able to increase the value of my collection with, rather than it just kind of stay the same. I feel like if I had just hoarded a mountain of wheat pennies, that they would have been pretty much the same amount that they were. And I don't know, on some of the bulk stuff I feel like the prices actually come down a little bit. I feel like eBay and the internet kind of helped organize and let people know how much of everything there actually was. And so it kind of like helped create like numbers on what was still around, what was plentiful, you know, how much of stuff is available in circulation. I don't know if this one's been cleaned or if it's just a really nice brown coin. I feel like there's a lot of scratches on it for it to be so. Like funny though, it's like I would go through rolls like this and like kind of like pull out coins. I'd be like, okay, I'm making a new roll where, okay, these ones are even better than the other ones, and kind of looks like there's an interesting, maybe now it's just a scratch. It's kind of looking like there was a weird piece of metal there. Just a scratch. I'm thinking maybe like at some point I'm just gonna like put up like, you know, like every single coin from the coin vault has an opened episode. Just sell the whole vault at once. If somebody wants to watch like 200-300 hours worth of coins, I'm sure there are people that do. It's like, I don't know, it's like with like memorial cents and stuff, it's like I feel like it makes more sense to like kind of like hoard them in volume, because there's still like a lot, you can still find really, really nice looking coins in circulation. And like, I don't know, I mean like basically like wheat pennies are already at their full copper value, while memorial cents, when you pull them out of circulation, they're essentially worth double their face value just in copper. And you know, you don't have to melt it down, you just put it in a bag and sell it as 34 pounds, you know, 5,000 count, and it's like it sells for what, like $100. You know, it's like if you can find someone that you can drop it off at to in person, you save a lot of money. Otherwise you stick it in a flat rate box, which I'm not sure if they have gone up. They used to be like $15 or something, and I could put two 5,000 count bags in it, because you could put 68 pounds in a flat rate box. I would just put them in the canvas sacks, and then I would like kind of duct tape a little bit around it and just make sure the box was really well enforced and write heavy on every part of it. but it was like actually like with my Rydale, it was profitable, not profitable enough, but like I definitely made money off of it, just separating copper from zinc. It's like, I don't know, if I was to like be bold enough to have like the Brinks truck just like come to the office and like just like unload, like it would almost be worth it to just buy boxes of pennies and just sort them all out, then go and dump them all at the casino. Or maybe, I don't know, like I guess like, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense if I was doing Brinks and having like Brinks just drop off the same boxes every day. That definitely would not be fun. I don't know if that came up on the microphone. Some funny water. So I'm thinking after the show tonight, probably gonna do another couple hundred links, and maybe by the end of the week I will be done. But it's like literally I've been like just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. It's kind of ridiculous. But if it starts to work good, I don't know, like it's nice to have like a nice way to make passive income. So like if you guys have like websites and do eBay, like, or even like social media, like definitely see if you can join the eBay partner program, because I think you can make up to 8% commissions, and that's not bad at all. And it's like I'm already, you know, linking stuff to my eBay store, so it was like a no-brainer for me. Like I link everything from my eBay store to my YouTube, and everything from my YouTube to my eBay, and have like, you know, Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest and Mix and Blogger and Tumblr and Reddit and just all these things pointing to everything as well. Finally just got a Facebook account for my business. I'd kind of been avoiding it. I was just like, what's the point? I guess I need to get like a MySpace and a TikTok now. I need to start advertising my stuff on TikTok, because you know that's where everybody is. Right? I mean, what would you think if like, you know, like you just saw like, you know, like a Brinks truck just like pull up to a business and they were just like unloading like, you know, like coins for like an hour. Like, because it's like, I don't know, it's like I did the math and stuff, and it was basically like, to make it worth my time, I would need to be doing like 100 boxes a day, which I could do, but it's just like, you know, it's like you try to like make a business out of it and like figure out, it's like, you know, it's one thing to just, you know, when you're going to the bank, just pick up a couple boxes and stuff if you're already going, but like, you know, if you're going to the bank, like I used to have like a bunch of banks, and I was like driving from bank to bank to bank and just picking up everything that I could. I want to check this one out on the reverse here. The pluribus there looks kind of interesting. But it's like I realized like I was, you know, spending more, I was just spending a ton of money driving around. It's like funny, like gas should be so cheap right now with it at like nothing a barrel, but I swear it's like still like $4 a gallon here. Oh my gosh, is my finger really that dirty? Yes. Well, we're gonna have to look at a couple of these up close. I guess that's one thing that I like about the flips, other than the glare and stuff on them, is that like I really can zoom in with the other. It's just it's like I have a little table that they're on that's not hitting the microscope. Because when I'm trying to hold them up, they just want to like almost fall into the tip of the microscope. I just feel like I'm just not handling them very well. But I'm also used to holding the flips and stuff, so it might be partially that. It's got some interesting, seen a lot of machine damage doubly, and I don't think I've seen one quite like that before. Interesting G and O. Is it a 57? Yeah, I feel like everything's just starting to look double to me. I only pulled out 2 rolls from the vault, so once we're done here, this will be the final roll for the night. Fingerprint too. Yeah, these coins are going to be a little bit more fingerful after I'm done with them tonight. But that just means that in the future, somebody can make a clone out of me. Maybe I should not. I was like thinking about clones the other day, and it's like, do you think if in the future when there's like clones, do you think there'll be like rules or laws against like, you know, like dating your clone? And would it be like kind of like considered like, you know, it's like, no, we don't, you can't, sorry kid, you can't marry your clone when you grow up. There's reasons, you'll understand when you're older. Oh no. Maybe not the topic for my show. I was like pondering it the other day. I was like, oh, yeah, that could be a no-no. I hear people make jokes like, if you were to meet a clone of yourself. Yeah, I'll save that joke for another show. Yes, I am trying to distribute my DNA on as many coins as I can, so that at some point I can be reincarnated when somebody's like, I bet this penny could tell a story. I know, let's have it tell us a story. Let's extract some DNA, and we'll have the DNA make a clone, and then we will have the clone tell us a story. Oh, I have good dreams, and the bad ones I have fun in. Like, when I'm having a bad dream and I realize that I'm having a bad dream, all of a sudden it's like I get all superheroed up, and it's like whatever was causing badness in my dream, all of a sudden like it's having a nightmare. It's fun. I love dreaming. Well, thanks for being here, Bigfoot. So that's the last one here, but we've got 8 of them here. I'm gonna attempt to look at up close, because it's just we're here right now. We might as well. Which way? That's my finger. All right. Let's see if we can get this. Wow, does the penny basically fit right in the head of the microscope? I did not know. Wow, it totally does. Well, too bad we don't want to look right at the center of the coin. Yeah, I definitely wish you good dreams, Bigfoot. So I don't know, like those almost look like damage. Oh yeah, this one's got some big old fingerprints on it now. I think it was just machine damage on there. I'm gonna have to figure out a different way. I mean, it'd almost be cool if I had a little thing that just went over my finger, like kind of like, I don't know, like a little, like a ring that I could just like put the coin on. And then like kind of palm it and then flip it over. It's not giving me an easy time here. I don't know. I think that it's just a really worn die. Like the U there on the right side definitely looks interesting. There's that 1920. I'm not even in on the full. I thought I was in on the final. That's crazy. And I was like, wait. Oh, what the focus is. It's like, that's what I like about the flip. Is it's like I can slide the cardboard underneath the microscope. And it keeps everything at a consistent height. I'm learning though. I mean, this is just my first night with it at this depth. But yeah, definitely to like hold them steady like this, it's like all of a sudden it's like my fingers are way more in contact. I think I was trying to do it carefully. I mean, I definitely have it. It doesn't take that long to like flip up 50 to 100 coins. Half of it is just if like when most of these coins, they probably don't warrant being flipped. And it's like, when you have, I don't even think it's 100, but it's like, this is how big, like 70 coins is. and then like this is how big like 50 coins is, and it's like this weighs like over a pound. You know, it probably weighs like a pound and a half, while this weighs like 7 ounces. And so it's like, which one's easier to ship? What, the big bulky heavy one or this? And so I don't know, it's like the ultimate goal, I feel like, with most of this stuff, is to sell it. You know, it's like I can keep it for another 50, 60 years, but I don't really know what the point of it is going to be. I'd rather sell it off and to make room for, you know, a bunch of higher graded coins that are becoming less and less, and I don't know, we'll have to see. But thank you everyone for joining tonight. I know that this Coin Vault, the Coin Vault has opened episode was a little bit different. You guys can let me know what you guys think. If you guys want to see them flipped, I can flip them up for you guys in the future. I'm pretty sure I do have some solid date rolls, even though I sold my collection off. It seems like they just keep coming out of the woodwork. But I can try to find different things for you guys. So there's like a few thousand of these rolls, I think, and they're just all kind of different. It's just whatever I was going through at the time. So I kind of like that, not knowing what I'm going to be looking at, but I do kind of like, I think Super Silverman was saying, like, hey, if you look at all the same roll, if you look at coins all from the same date and the same mint, you know, then you can like do research and know more about the coins before, and I do think that he had some really good points there. I'll just see if I can. So this is the toned one that I got, and honestly the toned, it seemed like the toned worked really well up close. I might be able to get it to like pop with the light, but it's like you can kind of see like the red ring that goes around it. The inside's like yellow, and then the rim up at the top is like bright green, but yeah, it just looks dull here like this. It was funny, like when we were zoomed in, it like kind of popped for us. Well, this one has some like really crazy tone. I don't know, maybe if I have it on like a weird angle. It's like so not the colors of it. There we go, there's a little bit of the color. It's like you can see the green up at the top and then red, and then it kind of turns a thin layer of orange, and it's like yellow in the center, but it's pretty nice. I was pretty happy with it. It looks like one that wasn't toned ended tonight for about the same price as this one did, but that one was just a normal looking coin. I guess some people don't like toned coins, so maybe the other person's like, oh good, a non-toned one. But the front is pretty much equally toned. It just doesn't show up. It's like one of the reasons I wanted to be able to like make videos and stuff like this was so that I could show awesome toned coins. But they just, if you guys have any tips in the future, let me know, because I'd really like to be able to like share some of the beautiful coins. It's just not, oh, you can see a little of the green at the top. So this one is like proof 66 red. Pretty nice. So, like I was saying, that's it for tonight. I wish you guys all an awesome night. Thank you for watching. I do not believe there will be an episode tomorrow night. I might surprise you guys. But Wednesday and Saturday nights are my scheduled streams, so I think I'm probably going to have the night off tomorrow, but if I am doing a video or a stream, I'll let you guys know as soon as I can. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on Saturday night at 9 o'clock. Alright, good night. See you in the future.